adding or subtracting negative numbers. This is something that seems to mess with people to no end, and I just want to show you this really easy technique for doing this. So look, we have 13 minus 8 here, and what I'd like to point out to you is what we really have here is negative 8. So here's our negative 8, and we have a positive 13. So I could move this. I guess you'd rather look at it like this, wouldn't you? You'd say 13 minus 8 is equal to 5, right? Positive 5. This is what I want to show. This is what I want to show you that you did, though. You did your subtraction, and what you did was, hopefully, you looked at which number had the highest absolute value. So which number has the highest absolute value? Positive 13 or negative 8. So the absolute value of positive 13 is 13, and the absolute value of negative 8 is 8, isn't it? So which is farther from 0 would be the 13. So what you do is you take the sign. Here's what I'm trying to show you that I think a lot of people get messed up. This is not multiplication. So people see a negative and they say that's a positive. Or they say a negative and a positive and they see negative because they've been brainwashed. So this is the day we unbrainwash you. This should be good. So look at this for a second. If I did this, so that's an example. If we did 7 plus 7, well, this is a positive 7, this is a positive 7, so we add their absolute values. So positive 7 plus positive 7 is 14, isn't it? They were both positive, so we keep the sign. Keep the sign. Not is positive, but keep the sign. So the same thing would be true here. Negative 7 minus 7. So we add their absolute values. 7 plus 7 is 14. And they are both negative, so we keep the sign. So the sign was negative of both of them. So this is, I think, and I don't know why. I think, honestly, it's because so many teachers teach this. We beat into our students as hard as we can. A negative times a negative, a positive times a negative, a positive times a positive. And our students get so wrapped up in that they're looking for the scaffolding. That's what Vygotsky would say. They're looking for the scaffolding, and the scaffolding that they have is the wrong scaffolding. So we need to make sure we provide the right scaffolding for them. So let's try another example here. Here we have 7 minus 3. Well, 7 minus 3 is 4, isn't it? So what I did was I just did the subtraction the way I wanted to. 7 minus 3, 4. And then I did this. I looked at the absolute value of positive 7 is 7. The absolute value of negative 3 is positive 3. Well, which one is farther from 0? It's the positive, so I kept it. Let's show you an example that's the opposite, and I think it'll start to make a lot of sense to you. Let's take something like this. Let's take something like, oh, how about this? Something like this. How about this? Something easy. 2 minus 10. So the same thing is true here. This is what I think you're going to be okay with. I'm going to do the subtraction the way I'd like to, which I'm going to do is 10 minus 2. 10 minus 2 is 8. Isn't that right? However, the way I'm looking at it is this. I'm looking at this as positive 2, and I'm looking at this as negative 10. So let me ask you, which number is farther from 0? Is positive 2 farther from 0, or is negative 10? So, of course, you said negative 10 is. Well, what's the sign? The sign was negative, so we keep the sign of the number farthest from 0. All right? I think this is actually really reasonable and doable, and I'm sorry that we've been brainwashed for so long that this just doesn't work. Let's try one more example. Negative 11 plus 9. So all I'm going to do is this. I'm going to subtract, because when the signs are opposite, I'm going to subtract. So I'm going to subtract 11 minus 9 is 2. Is 2 okay? Ask ourselves, which number is farther from 0? Is the negative 11 farther from 0, or is the positive 9? The negative 11 is farther from 0, so we take its sign. All right? So take sign of number farthest. Is that good spelling? Farthest from 0. You guys, I hope this was really helpful. And I bet there's somebody out there who's taking Calc 1 or maybe even Calc 2, and they're like, oh my God, this has been killing me for years. It still beats me up. Okay, good work.